Hey guys, Chouetsu here with another video. This time I'll be showing you guys the final thing that the X-Changer can be used for, which is to help create the super combination between the Lupinrangers and the Patrangers. So, for this you'll need 11 versus vehicles. The red, blue, and yellow dial fighters, trainer machines Ichigo, Nigo, and Sango, X-Trains Silver, Gold, Fire, and Thunder, and Good Striker. So, let's get started. We'll start the combination with Good Striker, X-Train Silver, and X-Train Gold. First, take Good Striker, fold up the nose cone, and extend and split the legs. Flip it around and fold down the leg panels. And come up to the head area, fold down the trigger and fold up the head connector. Then, we'll take X-Train Silver, flip it around, move this part out one notch. And coming to here, going to connect this clip into this socket, and this socket with this clip. That way it's fully secure in place. I'll do a similar thing with X-Train Gold. First we'll remove the top smokestack part, and flip it around. Move this out in the opposite direction. Then connect it on the side, then the front. Then coming around to the back, going to take the gun part, flip it across sideways, and connect it to this top piece here on X-Train Silver. Then we'll come down the arms, move them out a second notch, rotate them forward, and bend them forward one click. Then we'll bring in X-Train Thunder and X-Train Fire. First we'll convert them into attack mode. Then for each one on the inside, they have this little extended piece that we'll need to flip out like this. Then, coming to the feet, we'll place this part into these notches down here. Then connect the clip on the side. And do the same over here. And once those are in place, we'll take the whole thing and stand it up. Next, we'll bring in Trigger Machine Nigo and Trigger Machine Sango. We'll change those into attack mode as well. Using the holes in the wheels, we'll attach them to these pegs on the outsides of Thunder and Fire, with Nigo going on the left and Sango going on the right. Moving up the body, we'll take these connectors on top of the shoulders and fold them outwards until they stop like that. And we'll bring in blue dial fighter and yellow dial fighter. Convert them to attack mode. Then change them into their arm modes, with the arms bent forward. Then we'll attach these up to the shoulders. Then we'll take this piece here, using this notch, connect it on top of Good Striker. Now fold down the face. Then we'll take red dial fighter in normal mode, attach it to this plug here. And take Trigger Machine Ichigo, also in normal mode, and attach it to the top plug there. Then to finish off the combination, come around to the back, and you can see the trigger here. So in order to activate the combination sound, we will press and hold that button.
Chouetsu X Gattime! Good Kuru Kaiser! VSX!
And here we have Good Kuru Kaiser VSX. So before I get into looking at this, some of you guys are probably going to be asking questions about why I'm calling it that and why I'm spelling it that, and some of you may have even tried to correct me before even getting to this point in the video. So before even looking at this, you'll need to justify the spelling and pronunciation of the mech's name. So a lot of people have been calling this mech Good Kuru Kaiser VSX, but I can tell you why that's most likely wrong. First off, the kana used within the name is Kuru instead of Kuru, which is how you would spell cool in Japanese. The second is that Good Kuru is not something that comes out of nowhere. It actually comes from our old pal, Good Striker. So within there, you heard part of that phrase being Good Kuru. That's kind of Good Striker's catchphrase that he uses a lot. And so, it makes sense for this mech to be called Good Kuru Kaiser, because that phrase, roughly translated, means good feeling. So, we have Good Feeling Kaiser, as he's got a good feeling about the two teams coming together. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the mech up close. First off, we have the new face. If we take a close look at it, you can see that it's got the characters VSX across the forehead and face to signify that this is Good Kuru Kaiser VSX. Besides that, every part, or every versus vehicle, has a part to play. We've got the blue and yellow trader machines up here as the shoulder guns, or shoulder weapons. While Trader Machine Ichigo doesn't seem like it serves much of a purpose, it is basically completing the helmet. And while it is oversized here in the show for the costume, for the suit that they use, it is a bit shrunken down, but because of the way that this is also the head for both modes of X-Emperor, there is a little bit of a disproportionate look to it here. But it does keep the head looking interesting, as without it, it would just be a kind of blocky square box head that would look too small for the rest of the body. Of course, Good Striker forms most of the body, but in this case we have the wing fangs extended to get us this more broad chest that is also complemented by Red Dial Fighter going all across it. Of course, we now have the gold and silver X trains as the arms, plus X-Train Fire and Thunder as platforms for the feet, and the Trader Machines Nigo and Sango being leg weapons. Now, despite how this works, this does have some articulation. Thanks to all the joints involved, you can move around the weapons up here, adjusting them on these pivot joints, as well as swiveling them, pivoting them, and of course straightening out these parts if you feel a need to. For the arms, they do move in and out a little bit. You do have this rotation joint all around. Plus you have the elbow joint that can go back and forward a second notch to get a full 90-degree elbow bend. And that's not too much, but at the very least it is some articulation. Now this does do a pretty good job of being stable since it has this piece back here connecting these two to keep the shoulders together, as well as using the clips down here to keep the feet attached. The one thing to note is that there's a reason why I did this in the order that I did, with attaching these to the sides before, or rather after attaching these to the feet. And that's because if you try to lift this up while these are attached, they'll just fall off. The joints there are not the strongest because it's only attached via these clips on the sides. So trying to get it to lift up both the X trains that are attached as well as the trigger machines on the sides isn't really possible, though if you do want to try picking this up, what I just suggest doing is removing these, then picking it up where it can support the weight of just these two, then simply attaching these two back on when you put it back down. That way you don't have any pieces falling off. Additionally, I will admit that the baton piece of Trigger Machine Sango sticking out is a little bit of something kind of weird, and it does stick out a bit too much, so if you want you can just fold this back up to give it a bit more of a clean look. And though this is something I'm not which is not too much of an issue for me, it does slightly bother me the way that this piece here, or this section here, comes together with how you have all the red of the red dial fire plus all the red on the legs. So if you want to break that up a bit, you can fold back up these panels. And that does change up the look a bit. Might look better, might look worse, depending on how you look at it. It is another way to display the Mac. Though the way it is officially supposed to be is with the panels folded down. And there is also some other freedom that you can do, as if you want you can switch out some of the different pieces for other versus vehicles. Though that being said, the only other vehicle that could be attached down to one of these 2 points is the crane vehicle, as unfortunately the biker vehicle does not have any of the holes there within the wheel wells. And while some people might see this mech as coming off a bit clunky or not looking very good, some people might see it as a bit of a cluster, but I do think it looks quite cool and it makes good use of all the different pieces, if you ask me. And there we go. Overall, I think this is a great way of rounding out the features of the X-Changer, and by extension, the 4 X-Trains. We've seen them do a lot, from X-Trains Silver and Gold becoming the X-Changer, to X-Trains Fire and Thunder being able to be used for the Versus Changer, both Lupin Kaiser or Pat Kaiser, as well as X-Emperor, to the 4 being used to create this super combination, which I think is a very cool combination that is worth getting them all for. All things considered, while you can just get the X-Changer and have X-Trains Fire, or rather Silver and Gold, you don't really get the full playability unless you also have Fire and Thunder. So what I would actually recommend is, if you want to kind of get the most bang for your buck, get the most out of it, and be able to get all of it in just one purchase, go for the X-Emperor set instead of trying to get the X-Changer and then Fire and Thunder separately, as it gives you all 4 in one box, making it very convenient, and of course you get all of that playability out of it. So if you're a fan of this series, if you're a fan of Lupin X or Patranger X, or the mechs and the combinations, then overall getting that set is a great purchase that is highly recommended and well worth it. So now that I've gotten to the end of the Lupin X / Patranger X goods, starting with my next review, I'll be getting back to Yokai Watch reviews, which is something I haven't done in a long time. So next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Yokai Watch Elder, Tuesday at 6 PM PST. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.